Well, I was born in 1970, so I'm a Gen Xer, and I just want to share a growing up story with you today. I don't know if you had parents like I had, but my parents worked hard and they taught me to work hard. Let me stop a minute and introduce myself. My name is Jeff, and thanks for stopping the channel if you're new here. And maybe you like this kind of content and you hit that like, subscribe, that bell notification button. That way you'll know when I post new videos. Now let's get on with it. You know, I am shaped into the type person that I am because of all that has happened in my life, just like you. But my daddy taught me a very valuable lesson when I was 14 years old. He taught me some responsibility that I have not forgot to this day. See, when I was growing up, I worked with my uncle doing concrete work, and my daddy did as well. So daddy would get me up every morning. And his way to get me up was he'd bang on the wall downstairs, because I had a bedroom upstairs and I was the only child living at home. And that banging on the wall was, you better get up, you better get ready, and we're going to work. But first, before we go to work, we're going to go out to the restaurant out here and we're going to eat breakfast. Well, one morning, I thought I would try something. I thought, I don't want to go to work today. I'm tired. Everybody else, they don't have to work a job like me or whatever. And they're at the swimming pool, and I want to do my own thing. I want to just stay home, ride my bicycle today. Well, okay. So Daddy, he had an old Chevrolet CJ10. It had glass packs on it. You could hear that thing crank up in the mornings before it got warmed up. Man, it'd have that pop to it. Daddy only knocked on that wall one time. That's all you got. You better get up. And believe me, he hit it hard enough that he would wake you up. So I laid in there and pulled that cover back over my head, and I went back to sleep, and I heard that old Chevrolet out there, woke me back up. It's out there idling, just a popping, pop, 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 pop. He was waiting on me to come out the door because he'd give me a few minutes. Most of the time, Daddy was already sitting out there with that truck idling. But I had about 10 minutes from time he banged on that wall to get out and get my rear end in that truck to go to work. Well, he drove off. I thought, yes, sir. I'm going to get to do what I get to do today, what I want to do. Well, about 45 minutes later, I hear that truck pull up in the driveway. I hear that house door open, and I hear Daddy's footsteps coming up there to the bedroom. He opened that door. He said, get up. It's time to go to work. You got 5 minutes to get the truck. So I get up, and I knew I better get up too. I get up and I put my clothes on and I go get in the truck. He don't say a word. He don't say, why did you not get up? He didn't say you better get up in the morning. He didn't say any of that kind of stuff. Daddy had a plan in place. He knew what the day held, and I didn't. He had a life lesson for this old boy. So we go to work that day, and it was one of them days. It was hot, and it was one of them days that we didn't get to take a lunch break that day. It was one of them days that we had concrete on the ground. They wasn't no breaking in between. You just had to get it. Well, about 1 o'clock rolls around. I said, we not going to get any lunch today? Nope. We ain't got time. Way we got concrete setting up and the way it's going, we can't take a break. We got to keep going. I mean, you go get a drink of water, but that's about all you could do. And I had nothing. I had no peanut butter crackers. I didn't have anything. No beanie weenies. Nothing. Well, about 6 o'clock at night, when we got home, I finally got to eat. Daddy said, I bet you get up and eat breakfast in the morning, don't you, boy? Let me tell you something. When he banged on that wall the next morning, I got up and ate breakfast. He said, well, that's terrible. That's hard. Yeah, it might have been a little hard, but I tell you one thing, it taught me a life lesson. It taught me to be responsible. It taught me to be ready when I leave in the house in the morning to get to work and get the job done and prepare before you get there. It's amazing to me that, you see people come into work today and they eat breakfast when they get there, and they take some, 30, 40 minutes to fix a pot of coffee, fix their toast, fix their cereal, fix their oatmeal, and all that stuff. I'm like, okay, well, all right. If that's what works for you, I guess. It's just different. Just different. I was just raised that you just got to get up and get out there and get after it. But that lesson that Daddy taught me that day is taught me responsibility. Now, see, if he would have allowed me to get by with that day and lay in that bed, well, what would he have done when I got older? Well, I just don't feel like going to work today. I'm just going to stay at home. I tell you, I've worked days when I was sick and I should have been at home. I got 7.5 months of sick leave built up right now. And occasionally I use a day here and there. I really saved up for when my parents get older, and I've had to use some of them days to take my parents to the doctors and different things. But I've just learned that you get up and you take responsibility and you go out there and you do an honest day's work for honest day's pay. And that was free. All that was free. I just wanted to share that little story of life that my dad taught me. I got a lot of them. And I'll share some more of those life stories with you and things I've learned along the way throughout the years. I've got some good ones, I can tell you that. So y'all have a great day. Go out there and do something good for someone today. You never know what it's going to do for them and what it's going to do for you. Y'all have a great day.